Cricket presents The Warmup. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Neil Beasley, and we are deep in the state playoffs, and this is where it gets real. So we need to get you warmed up.
Happy Thanksgiving, and if you're a high school football player who's practicing today, congrats on a great season. Let's take a look at some great third-round matchups in the Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Zone. Big one at the Star in Frisco Saturday afternoon as North Crowley takes on Prosper. The 12-0 Panthers will be playing their toughest competition since they battled Lovejoy in the non-district. TCU commit Chris Jimerson has handled the quarterback duties the last 2 years like a seasoned veteran, and he's proved it in these first two playoff games. North Crowley built a huge lead against Keller before the Indians got some garbage points late. There was never any doubt in the Panthers' second-round win over Odessa Permian. That phrase seems to follow a lot of North Crowley's wins. Never in doubt, as the Panthers have been crushing their opponents. Will the lack of competition come up and bite them in the playoffs? Well, if it's ever to happen, it will be against a team like Prosper. The Eagles have been there and done that the last couple of years. They're defending state semifinalists. A lot of their success this year has come behind a big offensive line that has sprung Leo Aguiano for long gains and usually house calls. We'll see if they can hold off a stingy North Crowley defense in this one. Also Saturday, a couple of unbeatens meet up at Choctaw Stadium. However, the sad truth of the second season is that not only will one of these teams leave with a loss, but also end their season. 12-0 Byron Nelson will have a 3 p.m. kickoff with 12-0 Coppell. Such storied seasons for both of these teams. Byron Nelson got their signature win in Week 10 when their stout defense shut down favorite South Lake Carroll 34-17 to earn the Bobcats the 4-6A crown. But many wonder if they'll have similar success if they meet the Dragons again in the regional final. To get to that point, you got to take down the Cowboys of Coppell, who surprised many by winning the 6-6A crown in convincing fashion. Baron Tipton, the North Texas commit, has quietly been a dominant receiver in the Metroplex. Last week in the Cowboys' win over Jesuit, he caught 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter. Whichever offense gets on track first will most likely survive and advance.
The Hot Zone is presented by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. With just the right amount of heat and flavor, Louisiana hot sauce has been a game changer for more than 95 years.
Switch to Cricket today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. After all, you've been good this year, and they think you really, really deserve it. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Enjoy the authentic flavors of ancient recipes. So thin, so crisp, so good, Xochitl.
We caught up with yet another talented athlete from the North Texas area on the recruiting trail, presented by Xochitl, Chips and Salsa.
Hey, my name is Temerrick Johnson. I go to Midlothian Heritage and I play DN. When I went down there, I had felt the love with the coaches and the players and stuff, and I like how they'll use me down there. Like their defensive scheme with the new defensive coordinator. The way I use my speed and the way my coaches are like using me blitzing and like Michael Parsons like moved me around the linebacker and rushing off the edge. I feel like that separates me because of the speed I use. I enjoy playing with my high school, Midlothian Heritage. The coaches are close to players. It's really like a family. And then like this year's been great because like I feel like we came to work because we got something to prove this year. We lost a lot of seniors and people thought we weren't gonna be as good. And we ended up going 10-0, still working. I just want them to think about the work I put in. I just want to like show like the younger guys like what it takes to like be in the position I'm in, and just for them to like, I just want to pass the torch to them, more of a legacy being left. You know, I want to be like known for being like a good player, but I just want to see what legacy I could leave like on the players, the younger guys and stuff.
We can't get our cameras to all the big playoff games, so here's some other ones to keep an eye out for in the hype, presented by Dallas County Connects. A big rematch is taking place in Forney Friday night as Longview battles Lancaster for a second time. The first matchup ended up in a 52-35 Lobo win, and if Weebo Nation hopes to win the second time around, their defense is going to have to play a heck of a lot better. Lancaster's season is on borrowed time anyway, as they entered the playoffs as the fourth-place team, had to travel to Houston for a road playoff game in round one. They managed to get past LaPorte in that one, and last week they took out Frisco Wakeland by 2 touchdowns. The Tigers are relying heavily on workhorse Kawan Lacey to get that offense going, but if they can get some big plays going with wide receiver Temerrick Martin, it might help open up the running game even more. But that's where the problem lies when Lancaster faces Longview. The Lobos' defense doesn't give up big plays. As a matter of fact, Longview's D doesn't give up any plays worth talking about. They've won 11 games in a row, and in those games, they've given up 7 or less points in 7. That's a stingy defense, folks. However, like I stated earlier, Lancaster did score 35 against them, so there is some hope. We'll see how this one turns out. Duncanville is on the road to Hutto Saturday afternoon to face the Woodlands out of the Houston area. The Panthers took a loss to DeSoto in Week 10, but Reginald Samples sees that as just a speed bump on their way to back-to-back 6A Division I championships. They dominated their last 3 games as star running back Caden Durham is finally getting to carry the ball more than 10 times a game. During the regular season, besides DeSoto, Durham was put on the shelf after halftime due to huge leads. With Durham, wide receiver DeCorian Moore, and the Panthers' incredible defense, there shouldn't be too much in the way of them reaching Jerry World in mid-December. The Woodlands, they have other ideas. They're led by Wisconsin commit Mabry Matoyer and wide receiver Quanell X. Farrakhan. They had to pull out a barn burner against Klein Collins last week. Farrakhan ran in a 2-point conversion late in the game to seal a 28-27 win. It's going to take a lot more than a successful late conversion to get past Duncanville, however. Panthers might be favored by 3 scores.
You shouldn't have to come to the internet. The internet should come to you. Let Dallas County help connect your home with free or low-cost high-speed broadband today. Visit DallasCountyConnects.org.
Switch to Cricket to treat both you and your family to 4 lines for only $25 per month each, plus nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Let's take a look back at who won our defensive title belt, plus we'll see who might come home with one this week in The Buzz. Last week we saw Prosper come home with the title belt. The Eagles got a strong second-half defensive effort against Lake Highlands to advance to the 3rd round. They also got a nice game-changing play in the special teams. This week, if there was ever a time for Highland Park's defense to take over a game, it would be Friday against South Lake Carroll. The Dragons can be electric on offense, but also have shown they can be shut down by a good defense, too. If the Scots want to advance, snagging a title belt would help immensely. Hey, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. We hope you are now warmed up for some Texas high school football playoff action.